Amara, 11 years old and Syrian, saw the illiterate Russian boy sleeping behind the dumpster. Her family had fled war with nothing. She taught him to read anyway, every night for 9 months. No one asked her to. No one paid her. She just did it. When social services took him, Dmitri made an impossible promise. "I'll find you when I'm somebody." She smiled, then gave him her only book, The Little Prince. 19 years vanished. Dmitri became a tech billionaire, spent 6 years searching for her, hired investigators across 3 continents, bought buildings in refugee neighborhoods, found nothing. Tonight, he'd walk into a community meeting in Berlin. Amara would be there, still carrying that same book with his childhood notes in the margins. Neither knew they were seconds away from reunion. Dmitri Volkov woke at 5:30 a.m. in a penthouse that cost more than most people earned in 10 lifetimes. Floor-to-ceiling windows. The Spree River stretched out below, the TV tower piercing the dawn. He didn't notice. Never did. The espresso machine hummed. Italian. 12,000 euros. He pressed a button, walked away before the cup filled. His closet held 30 black turtlenecks, all identical, all custom. He grabbed one without looking. The apartment was silent, always silent. No photos on the walls, no books on shelves, nothing that said someone actually lived here. It looked like a museum, felt like a morgue. His phone buzzed, his COO. Series D closed, 47 million euros. Board meeting at 10. Dmitri texted back, "Good, 47 million. He felt nothing. He walked to his desk, unlocked the bottom drawer. Inside, a children's book, Le Petit Prince, French edition, pages yellowed, spine cracked, margins filled with pencil marks in a child's handwriting. This was the only thing that mattered. He opened to page 27, his own handwriting, age 12. On ne voit bien qu'avec le cœur. Below it, different handwriting, neater, older. Remember this, Dima, always. A. Amara's handwriting. Every morning he looked at this page. Every morning the same thought. Where is she? The board meeting was predictable. Congratulations, champagne, applause for another successful quarter. Dmitri smiled, said the right things, played the part. Inside, nothing. His business partner, Klaus, pulled him aside after. "You okay? You seem distant." "I'm fine." "You've been saying that for 6 years, ever since you started buying up Kreuzberg." Dmitri said nothing. "Why specifically? There's no profit there for years." "I have my reasons." Klaus studied him. "This is about that girl, isn't it? The one you're looking for." Dmitri's jaw tightened. "Drop it." "Maybe she's dead. The war," "I said, drop it." Klaus held up his hands. "Just don't let this consume you." Too late. It already had. Dmitri sat alone in his office that afternoon, opened a file on his computer. 6 years, 4 private investigators, 340,000 euros spent. Nothing. The last report, "We've exhausted all leads. Amara Hassan is too common a name. Syrian refugee records are incomplete. Family may have relocated to Germany, Sweden, or Canada. Without additional information, we cannot continue." He pulled up a map of Berlin. 8 red pins, his properties, all within 5 kilometers of Kreuzberg. If Amara was in Berlin, she'd be helping people. That's who she was. So he'd bought buildings, funded programs, created reasons to be there constantly, hoping, waiting. His phone buzzed. Reminder, Refugee Integration Forum tonight, 1900, Kreuzberg Community Center. Dmitri usually sent representatives, but something made him type, "I'll attend personally." He didn't know why, just a feeling. The memories came unbidden. They always did. 19 years ago, Istanbul, 2007. He was 12. Russian mother, Turkish father. Both dead within 6 months. Mother from cancer. Father from a construction accident. No family. No money. The state put him in an orphanage. He ran after 2 weeks. The director beat children. Dmitri had scars. 3 months on the streets, sleeping in doorways, stealing bread, avoiding police. By month 3, he couldn't think straight. Hunger does that, makes you animal. He found the bookstore by accident. Kitap Dunyasi, Book World. Back alley. They threw out damaged books. Dmitri slept there, surrounded by torn pages and broken spines. The owner never called police, just left food sometimes. Bread, an apple. Never spoke, just left it. One evening, Dmitri was trying to read a discarded book. He couldn't. He'd never learned properly. Russian alphabet, yes. Turkish, barely. English, not at all. He was staring at the pages, frustrated, when he heard a voice. "You're holding it upside down." Dmitri looked up. A girl, maybe 11, dark hair in a braid, brown eyes, wearing a worn coat too big for her, holding a stack of books. "I'm not," Dmitri said in broken Turkish. "You are," she pointed. "The words go this way." Dmitri turned the book. She was right. "Can you read?" she asked. "Yes." "You're lying." Dmitri's face burned. "Go away." Instead, she sat down, right there in the dirty alley, set her books beside her. "I'm Amara. What's your name?" "Dmitri." "Where are you from?" "Russia." "And here?" "Nowhere." Amara looked at him carefully. "You live here? In this alley?" Dmitri said nothing. "Are you hungry?" "No." "You're lying again." She reached into her bag, pulled out a sandwich wrapped in paper. "My mother made this, for after shopping, but I already ate. You can have it." Dmitri stared at the sandwich. His stomach screamed. "Take it," Amara said. "Please." He grabbed it, ate it in 3 bites. Tears came. He couldn't stop them. Amara watched quietly. When he finished, she said, "Do you want to learn to read? Really read?" Dmitri wiped his eyes. "Why would you help me?" "Because you need help, and I like reading. It's more fun with someone else." "I have no money." "I don't want money." "Then what do you want?" Amara smiled. "I want you to learn. That's all." Dmitri blinked. The memory faded. He looked at the clock. 18:30. The meeting started at 1900. Something told him tonight was different. He grabbed his coat, touched the book on his desk one more time. "I'm coming, Amara. I don't know if you're there, but I'm coming." What Dmitri didn't know, Amara would be there, and she'd been thinking about him every single day for 19 years, too. Dmitri arrived at the Kreuzberg Community Center at 1855. The building was old, Cold War concrete, graffiti, but renovated inside. Warm lights, posters in Arabic, Turkish, German, English. Inside, folding chairs filled the room. About 70 people. Families, young activists, older refugees, social workers. Dmitri straightened his jacket. His 3,000 euro turtleneck felt obscene here. A woman at the registration table looked up. "Name?" "Dmitri Volkov, Volkov Technologies." Her expression shifted, guarded. "The tech billionaire?" "Yes." "Most billionaires send lawyers." "I'm not most billionaires." She handed him a name tag. "We'll see." Dmitri walked in. Heads turned. Whispers rippled. That's him, the Russian, probably here to gentrify everything. Dmitri found a seat in the back. A man in his 50s stood at the front. "Welcome. I'm Rashid Khalil, Community Board President. Tonight we discuss the proposed integration program. He continued. Volkov Technologies wants to fund language classes and job training, but we've heard promises before. Murmurs of agreement. Mr. Volkov will present his plans. Then we ask questions. Real questions. Rashid looked at Dmitri. Mr. Volkov. Dmitri stood, walked to the front. 70 pairs of eyes tracked him. He opened his presentation. Slides, charts, numbers. Good evening. I'm Dmitri Volkov. I was homeless at 12. I know what broken promises look like. That got attention. I'm proposing free German language classes, not basic, intensive. 6 months, full-time, with stipends so people can afford to attend. Surprised murmurs. Job training in tech, healthcare, trades, then guaranteed interviews with partner companies. We've secured commitments from 40 Berlin employers. Next slide. Childcare during classes, mental health support, legal aid for asylum applications, all free. He paused. I know you don't trust me yet, but I'm not here for profit. I'm here to give back. Hands shot up. Rashid pointed. Yes, Fatima. An older woman stood. Mr. Volkov, why refugees? Why not Germans who also need help? Because I was a refugee once. I know what it's like to be invisible. More hands. A young man stood. What about housing? Language classes mean nothing if we're homeless. We're partnering with the city. 200 units reserved for program participants. Another voice from the middle. A woman's voice. Clear, strong. How do we know you'll keep these promises? Rich people always abandon us. Dmitri turned toward the voice, froze. A woman, early 30s, hijab, professional clothes, holding a notebook. Her voice, something about her voice. I work with refugees every day, she continued. I've seen programs fail. So how do we know you're different? Their eyes met. Dmitri's heart stopped. It couldn't be. I'm a social worker at this center. I see families struggling. Your money means nothing if you disappear in 6 months. Dmitri stared. 19 years. But the eyes, the way she spoke. He found his voice. You're right to be skeptical. May I ask your name? Amara Hassan. The room tilted. Dmitri gripped the table. Amara Hassan. After 6 years of searching, she was here, but she didn't recognize him. He'd changed, grown, filled out, confident, rich. Not the skeletal boy she'd taught. Rashid's voice cut through. Mr. Volkov, you okay? Dmitri blinked. Yes. Amara Hassan, you said. Amara looked confused. Yes. Why? Dmitri's hands trembled. Not in front of 70 people, but he couldn't stop. Did you live in Istanbul? About 19 years ago? Amara went still. Her notebook slipped. The room vanished. Near Taksim Square, Dmitri continued. Did you teach a homeless boy to read? A Russian boy. In an alley behind a bookstore? Amara's hand went to her bag, to a book inside. Dmitri, she whispered. Dmitri nodded. It's me. I came back. Amara's eyes filled. Dmitri Volkov, you're that Dmitri? I told you I'd find you when I was somebody. Amara's hand covered her mouth. Tears spilled. The room erupted, people talking, confused. But Dmitri only saw Amara, 19 years, collapsed. "You're alive," Amara breathed. "Because of you." Rashid stood. "Let's take a 15-minute break." People filed out, whispering, staring. Dmitri and Amara didn't move. Finally, alone, they walked toward each other, met in the middle. "Dmitri," Amara's voice broke. "I looked for you. After the war, I thought you were dead." "I looked for you too, for 6 years." "You're really here." "I kept my promise." Amara reached into her bag with shaking hands, pulled out a book, Le Petit Prince, the same copy, worn, loved, margins filled with notes. Dmitri's breath caught. "You kept it." "I read it every year, on your birthday." "You remembered my birthday." "March 15th. How could I forget?" Both started crying. They sat in Amara's small office, door closed, away from curious eyes. Dmitri couldn't stop staring. Amara couldn't stop crying. "I can't believe it's you," she said. "I can't believe you're alive." "Tell me everything. What happened after you left?" Dmitri leaned forward. "Do you remember all of it?" "Every day," Amara whispered. "I've thought about you every single day for 19 years. Dmitri's vision blurred. Tell me what you remember." Amara closed her eyes. "The first day, you were in that alley, so thin, so angry. You pretended you could read, but you couldn't." She opened her eyes. "I'd seen you there for a week already. My mother told me not to talk to you, said you were dangerous. But I saw your eyes. You weren't dangerous. You were terrified." "I was." "I sat down, asked if you wanted to learn to read. You said yes." Dmitri smiled through tears. "You came back the next day with books. 3 books, children's books, in Turkish. We started with the alphabet." "You were so patient." Amara stood, walked to the window. "That second day was harder, because I knew what I was doing. First day was impulse. Second day was choice." She turned back. "My parents were refugees. We'd fled Aleppo 2 years before. We had nothing. My father worked in a restaurant. My mother cleaned houses. We lived in one room." Dmitri hadn't known that. "But you had less. So I shared what I had." "Your time." "My time. My books. My hope." Amara sat back down. "Every evening for 9 months, I'd meet you in that alley. We'd read together." "You taught me Turkish, then English, then you gave me French books." "Because you were so smart, Dmitri. You learned so fast." "Because you made me believe I could." Silence hung between them. Then Amara said quietly, "Do you remember the conversations?" Dmitri smiled. "Every word. You'd tell me about Syria, about your grandmother's garden, the jasmine flowers, the war. You'd tell me about Russia, about your mother, how she loved Pushkin. You asked me what I wanted to be. You said, somebody, just somebody." Dmitri's throat tightened. "You said I already was somebody." "I meant it." Amara looked down. "Then winter came. December. You got so sick." Dmitri closed his eyes. "Pneumonia." "You were dying. I begged my parents to take you to a hospital. We had no money, but my father borrowed from his boss, 200 euros. We took you to the clinic." Dmitri opened his eyes. "I never knew that." "You weren't supposed to know. My father worked double shifts for 3 months to pay it back." Amara, you mattered more than money. Dmitri's tears fell freely. Your family saved my life. We did what we had to do. Another silence. Then the social worker came, Amara said. February. She found you, said you had to go to a group home. I didn't want to leave. I know. You cried. I cried. You gave me the book. Amara touched Le Petit Prince on the desk. My only book. My favorite thing. I wanted you to have it. To remember. I read it 100 times. I bought another copy. Read it every year on your birthday. Dmitri stared. You remembered my birthday? March 15th. How could I forget? They stood, embraced, held each other like they'd wanted to for 19 years. Thank you, Dmitri whispered. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for surviving. Thank you for coming back. They pulled apart, both crying, both laughing. I made you a promise that day, Dmitri said. You said you'd find me when you were somebody. I meant it, Amara laughed through tears. We were children. I still meant it. Their eyes held. Something passed between them. Recognition. Connection. Something that started 19 years ago. A knock on the door. Rashid's voice. Folks, people are waiting, Amara called back. 5 more minutes. She turned to Dmitri. What do we do now? I don't know, but I'm not losing you again. I'm not going anywhere. Good, because we have 19 years to catch up on. Amara smiled. And a community meeting to finish. Can we talk later? Yes, but Dmitri, this project, is this really about helping people or finding me? Dmitri was quiet. Then, both. I wanted to help because of what you taught me, but I also hoped if I was here enough, I'd find you. You built all this? Looking for me? I built all this becoming the person you believed I could be. Amara's eyes filled. You did it. Because of you. They straightened their clothes, wiped their tears. Ready? Amara asked. Dmitri held out his hand. Together? Amara took it. Together. They walked back into the meeting room, hand in hand. 70 faces turned. Everyone had heard something. Whispers filled the room. Rashid stood. Shall we continue? Dmitri nodded, but he didn't let go of Amara's hand, and for the first time in 19 years, he felt complete. The meeting room buzzed when they returned. Rashid raised his hand for silence. I think we all witnessed something remarkable, but we still have business. Can you continue? Dmitri nodded, still holding Amara's hand. He addressed the room. What you just saw is why this project exists. 19 years ago, I was homeless, illiterate. Amara saved my life, taught me to read every day for 9 months. The room went silent. Everything I built, I did thinking about her. This program isn't about profit. It's about creating the kind of community that saves children like I was. Applause started, slow at first, then growing. The meeting continued for another hour. By the end, the community voted unanimously to approve the program. As people filed out, many stopped to shake Dmitri's hand, to hug Amara. Finally, the room emptied. Just the two of them remained. That was intense, Amara said. I didn't mean to make a scene. I'm glad you did, she smiled. But now we need to talk. They sat facing each other. Dmitri spoke first. I want to help you. Please let me. Help me how? Student loans, rent, whatever you need. Amara held up her hand. Stop. I don't want your money, Dmitri. But I have so much, and you. I didn't teach you to read so you'd owe me. I did it because it was right. Dmitri looked down. I just want to give back. Then give back to the community, to kids like you were. But don't try to pay me off. Amara leaned closer. I need to know something. Did that boy I taught grow into a good man? Dmitri met her eyes. I tried. Show me. Dmitri pulled out his phone, showed her photos. Refugee support programs, scholarships for orphans, job training initiatives across Europe. I employ people others won't hire. Refugees, ex-convicts, anyone who needs a chance. Amara scrolled through the images. Tears formed. You remembered everything I said. How could I forget? You saved my soul. Amara looked up. This is what I need to know, not your bank account. That you became someone who cares. Does that make you proud? So proud I could burst. Silence settled between them. Then Dmitri said quietly, I told you I'd find you when I was somebody. Amara laughed. We were children. I know, but I meant it, and I still mean it. She stopped laughing. Dmitri, I'm not asking you to marry me right now. That's insane. We just reconnected. But let me take you to dinner. Let me get to know the woman you became. Amara hesitated. I don't know if this is a good idea. Why not? Because you're a billionaire, and I'm a social worker who shares an apartment with 2 other people. We're from different worlds now. Dmitri took both her hands. You have what I've been searching for. You. That's everything. Amara's eyes filled. This is crazy. I've waited 19 years. Can you give me a chance? She studied his face, saw the boy she remembered. One dinner, as friends, no promises. Dmitri grinned. As friends, I can do that. And whatever happens between us, this program continues. You help this community regardless. Deal. Though, for the record, Amara paused. I've thought about you every day since you left. I don't know if that's love, but it's something. Dmitri's breath caught. I've loved you since I was 12 years old. We'll see if you still feel that way after you actually know me. Amara stood. I should go. It's late. Dmitri stood too. Can I drive you home? I can take the U-Bahn. Please. Amara nodded. Okay, just a ride. They drove in comfortable silence. Amara directed him to a modest building in Neukölln. Dmitri pulled up. This is it. Home sweet home. She opened the door, turned back. Thank you, Dmitri, for coming back, for remembering. Thank you for giving me a reason to. Amara smiled. Good night. Good night. She walked inside, turned, waved. Dmitri watched until she was safe. Then he looked at the book on his passenger seat. I found her. Now I just have to win her heart. Upstairs, Amara leaned against her door, hand over her heart. I'm falling, she whispered. I'm really falling for him. For the first time in 19 years, the promise felt possible. Over the next 3 weeks, Dmitri and Amara met 6 times, officially discussing the refugee program. Unofficially, they couldn't stay away from each other. Their meetings always ran long. 1 hour turned into 4. Business dissolved into stories, laughter, memories. Dmitri noticed everything about her. The way she checked her phone constantly for client emergencies. The way she ate quickly like food might disappear. The way her shoes were worn at the heels. He wanted to fix everything, but she'd said no to money. So he found other ways. Every meeting, Dmitri brought coffee, always the same order. Turk kahvesi, no sugar. How do you remember? Amara asked. You told me once. I remember everything you say. Something shifted in Amara's eyes. Dmitri also brought food, different things. Borek, lahmacun, kunefe. You really like Turkish food? Amara laughed. Dmitri's voice was soft. It reminds me of the best time in my life. Amara's smile faded. She understood. One afternoon, Amara mentioned the center needed new computers. 15,000 euros they didn't have. Let me look into that, Dmitri said. 3 days later, 20 brand new computers were delivered. Amara cornered him. How much did you pay? I found a supplier who owed me a favor. You paid for it yourself. Does it matter? The kids have computers now. Amara let it go, but she was watching him carefully. During their 6th meeting, a teenage boy knocked. Yusuf, 16, Syrian, asylum application denied. Miss Hassan, they're deporting me. I have nowhere to go. Amara's frustration was visible. I'm trying, Yusuf, but the system always fails. Dmitri watched, saw himself in Yusuf. After Yusuf left, Amara put her head in her hands. This happens every week. I can't save them all. Dmitri said carefully, what if there was a legal aid program? Free lawyers for asylum cases. That would be amazing. But who'd fund it? Let me make some calls. 1 week later, news broke. An anonymous donor pledged 800,000 euros for refugee legal aid. Amara called Dmitri. Was that you? I don't know what you're talking about. Don't lie. Silence. Does it help people? Yes. Then does it matter? Amara's chest tightened. He was saving people, just like she'd taught him. Meanwhile, Dmitri started appearing at the center, not for meetings, just there. I was in the neighborhood, he'd say. His office was 45 minutes away. Amara's co-worker whispered, That man is in love with you. We're just friends. Friends don't look at each other like that. One evening, walking to her car, Amara shivered. Berlin winter had arrived. Dmitri put his coat around her shoulders. Dmitri, you'll be cold. I'll be fine. Amara froze. Those exact words, 19 years ago, reversed. She looked at him. He remembered everything. Her heart cracked open. What Dmitri didn't know, Amara was falling too, despite her fears, and soon he'd show her exactly how deep his feelings went. Dmitri called Amara 4 days later. I want to take you to dinner, not business, just us. Amara hesitated. Please, you said one dinner as friends. Okay, Friday at 1900. Friday arrived. Amara stood in front of her closet for 30 minutes, 4 dresses, all old. She chose the blue one. Her mother called from the other room. Habibti, where are you going all dressed up? Just dinner with a friend. Is this the boy you used to teach? Amara smiled. Yes, Mama. That boy is in love with you. Has been for 19 years. Dmitri arrived exactly at 1900. Suit, simple white roses in hand. You remembered, Amara said. You said you liked simple things. They drove to a restaurant in Mita. Amara had never been anywhere this nice. The host greeted Dmitri by name. Mr. Volkov, your table is ready. Private corner, candles, white tablecloth, view of the Reichstag. Amara felt out of place. Dmitri, this is too much. Please, let me give you one nice evening. Amara relaxed. The food was incredible. Conversation flowed naturally. They talked about books, music, dreams, fears. Amara opened up about her family. We left Syria in 2005. I was 9. We walked for 3 weeks. My little brother died on the way. Dehydration. Dmitri took her hand. I'm so sorry. We made it to Turkey with nothing. My parents worked 3 jobs. We survived. Barely. That's why you helped me. I knew what it was like to have nothing. To be invisible. After dinner, Dmitri said, "Can I show you something?" "What?" "A surprise. Trust me." Amara nodded. They drove to the East Side Gallery. Late evening. Nearly empty. The Berlin Wall stretched out, covered in murals. Dmitri led her to a specific section. A mural of a book. Pages turning into birds. "I need to tell you something." They stood in front of the mural. Dmitri pulled out his phone, showed her a photo. A young man, 19, clearly homeless, sitting against this exact wall. Amara looked closer. "Is that you?" "Yes. After I aged out of the group home, I had nothing. I lived on the streets for 8 months. Amara's hand covered her mouth. "I'd beg during the day, sleep here at night. Every night I'd look at this mural and think about you, about reading, about the life you'd given me." He showed the book in the photo, Le Petit Prince. "Every night I'd read this and say, Amara believed in me. I have to make something of myself. Find her. Keep my promise." Amara was crying. Dmitri swiped to the next image, a map of Berlin, 8 red pins. "These are refugee centers I fund, all within 5 kilometers of Kreuzberg, because I knew if you were in Berlin, you'd be in that neighborhood, helping people. That's who you are." "You've been looking all this time?" 6 years actively, 19 years, never forgetting." Dmitri pulled out architectural plans. "This is for the new integration center. Look at the dedication plaque." Amara read through tears. "The Amara Hassan Center for Refugee Integration, in honor of the girl who taught me that education can change a life." She couldn't speak. "I was going to surprise you at the opening, but I need you to understand something." Dmitri took her hands. "Everything I built, every euro, every decision, I made it thinking of you, asking, would Amara be proud? Would this honor what she taught me?" Amara was shaking. "You didn't just teach me to read, Amara. You saw me. When everyone looked away, you saw me, treated me like I mattered." His voice broke. "Do you know what that does to a child who believes he's worthless? You gave me hope, love, a reason to survive." "Dmitri, I just taught you to read." "No. You gave me everything that matters." He moved closer. "I told you I'd find you when I was somebody. But Amara, I don't want to be with you because I owe you." Amara's breath stopped. "I want to be with you because over these weeks, I've fallen in love with you all over again. The girl who taught me grew into the most incredible woman I've ever known. Still saving people, still sacrificing, still choosing kindness." "I don't know what to say." "I know it's fast. We just reconnected. But I've loved you for 19 years. I don't want to waste another day." Amara was crying and laughing. "This is insane." "If it's too much, tell me. I'll wait as long as you need." Amara looked at him, saw the boy she'd saved in the man before her. "I don't know if I'm in love with you yet," she said honestly, "but I want to find out." Dmitri's face lit up. "Yeah?" "Yeah." They moved together, foreheads touching, tears mixing. "I'm going to spend my life making you as happy as you made me," Dmitri whispered. "You already have." They kissed, tender, meaningful. 19 years. in the making. When they pulled apart, both were smiling through tears. Amara's phone rang. She ignored it. Rang again. She checked. Work emergency. Dmitri stood immediately. Let me drive you. They rushed to help a family in crisis. Syrian. Just arrived. Nowhere to go. Found them housing. Made sure they were safe. Working together. Dmitri saw Amara in action. Her compassion, strength, absolute dedication. He fell deeper in love. By midnight they reached Amara's apartment. At her door she turned. Thank you for tonight, for everything. Thank you for giving me a chance. That program, the integration center, were you serious? Very serious. I want to create something that actually helps. Amara's eyes filled. I want to help you build it. I was hoping you'd say that. They stood close, neither wanting the night to end. I should go in, Amara said softly. I know. Neither moved. Finally, Dmitri stepped back. Good night, Amara. Good night. He watched her go inside, waited until her light came on. Then he looked at the book on his passenger seat. She's falling too. Upstairs, Amara leaned against her door, hand over her heart. I'm falling, she whispered. I'm really falling for him. For the first time in 19 years, the promise felt possible. The next morning, Dmitri called his lawyers. I need to set up a foundation, immediately. What kind of foundation, Mr. Volkov? For refugee integration, comprehensive support, language training, job placement, mental health services, legal aid, everything. Budget? 15 million euros to start, renewable annually. 2 weeks later, Dmitri invited Amara to his office. Amara walked in, overwhelmed. Floor-to-ceiling windows, modern furniture, success everywhere. This is where you work? Dmitri smiled. Most days. But I'd rather be at the center with you. Why am I here? I have something to show you. Sit. Amara sat. Dmitri pulled up a presentation on the large screen. The Little Prince Initiative. Amara's eyes widened at the name. Dmitri clicked through slides. Comprehensive program for refugees, ages 16 to 35. He detailed the services. Intensive German language training, 6 months, full-time, with stipends. Job training in tech, healthcare, trades. Guaranteed interviews with 60 partner companies. Mental health counseling. Legal aid for asylum applications. Child care during classes. Housing assistance. Budget, 15 million euros first year. Goal, serve 200 refugees. Scale to 1,000 within 3 years. Amara was speechless. I've partnered with 60 Berlin companies. They'll provide job placements, internships, mentorship. He clicked to the next slide. But the program needs a director, someone who understands these people, someone who's earned their trust. Amara's heart raced. Someone like you. Dmitri pulled out a folder, handed it to her. Inside, a formal job offer. Executive director. Salary, 95,000 euros per year. Full benefits. Staff of 15. Complete operational control. Amara stared at the numbers. Dmitri, this is a job. A real one, not charity. You'd work harder than you've ever worked. Quarterly reports, board presentations, budget management. I don't have a degree in nonprofit management. I don't have experience running something this big. Dmitri sat beside her. You have something better. You've lived it. You know exactly what barriers exist, what support actually means. Amara looked at the offer, Her hands trembled. And Amara, this is separate from us. Whatever happens between us personally, this program stands. You'll have a contract, legal protections. This isn't contingent on our relationship. Amara exhaled. She'd been worried about that. I want you to take this job because it's right for you and the people we'll serve, not because you feel obligated to me. Amara stood, walked to the window, looked out at Berlin. I've spent my whole adult life working in a broken system, watching people fall through cracks, knowing I can't save them all. Her voice broke. And now you're offering me a chance to actually fix things, to build something better. It's overwhelming. Dmitri walked to her. Think about Yusuf, about all the people like him, like I was. We can help them. Why me? You could hire someone with more experience. Because you care. Because you see these people as human beings, not statistics. Because 19 years ago you proved you'll sacrifice everything for someone who needs help. Amara's tears fell. What if I fail? Then we learn and try again. But Amara, I don't think you'll fail. I think you'll change thousands of lives. Amara looked at the folder again, read the details, the scope, the possibilities. Can I make changes? Design the program my way? That's why I want you. Your vision, your expertise. I provide funding and business support. You make all program decisions. And if we disagree? Dmitri smiled. Then you win. This is your program. Amara laughed through tears. You'd really give me that much control? Yes, because I trust you. I've trusted you since I was 12 years old. Amara sat back down, read through the entire proposal, asked questions. Dmitri answered honestly. Finally, she looked up. I have conditions. Name them. I want to hire from the communities we serve. Staff should include refugees, people who've been through the system. Done. I want advisory boards made up of former refugees, real decision-making power, not token representation. Absolutely. And I want to keep working 1 day a week at the community center with my current clients, so I never forget why we're doing this. Dmitri nodded. We'll write that into your contract. Amara took a deep breath. Then yes, I'll do it. Let's save some people. Dmitri's smile was radiant. Thank you. They shook hands, professional, then hugged, personal. We're going to change lives, Dmitri said. We already did. Each other's. Over the next month, contracts were signed, staff hired, office space allocated in one of Dmitri's buildings. Amara gave notice at her old job. Bittersweet goodbyes. Her co-workers cried, You deserve this. The program launched quietly, no press, just work. Amara interviewed the first cohort, 30 refugees, ages 16 to 35, all struggling. She met Yusuf again. You're in, Yusuf. We're going to help you. Yusuf cried. Why? Why me? Amara smiled. Because someone helped me once. Now it's my turn. Dmitri watched Amara work. She was brilliant, compassionate, fierce when advocating for her people. She hired staff who understood, a former Syrian refugee as assistant director, a social worker who'd fled Afghanistan, a counselor who'd survived Darfur. Together, they built something real. Apartments were secured, 40 units in Dmitri's buildings, furnished, safe, affordable. Language classes began, intensive, 6 months, full-time, with stipends so people could afford to attend. Job training started, resume writing, interview skills, workplace culture, then actual placements at partner companies. Mental health services launched, therapy, support groups, crisis intervention available 24/7. Within 3 months, all 30 participants were housed, 24 were enrolled in language classes, 15 had part-time jobs. Yusuf got his asylum approved, started IT training, moved into his own apartment, called Amara crying. "I never thought I'd have my own place." "You earned it, Yusuf. Keep going." Every Friday, Dmitri and Amara had dinner, sometimes strategy sessions, sometimes just dates. The line between professional and personal blurred, but it felt right. One evening, Amara said, "I never thanked you properly." "For what?" "For believing I could do this, for trusting me with something so important." Dmitri took her hand. "You gave me life. I'm giving you the resources to give life to others." Amara kissed him, soft, sweet. "I'm falling in love with you, Dmitri Volkov." "I've been in love with you for 19 years, Amara Hassan." They laughed, held each other. Outside, Berlin sparkled, full of possibility. And somewhere, people were getting help, getting hope, getting a second chance. Because 2 people kept a promise. 8 months passed. The Little Prince initiative served 183 refugees in its first year. 91% retention rate. National average, 35%. 127 participants enrolled in education or job training, 89 in stable housing. 0 returns to homelessness. But numbers didn't tell the real story. People did. Yusuf graduated from IT training, got a full-time job, salary, 38,000 euros per year. He called Amara, crying, "I never thought I'd have a future." "You always had one, Yusuf. Now you have the tools to build it." Then Yusuf bought his first laptop, sent Amara a card on Eid. "You're the only family I've ever had." Amara kept that card on her desk. Layla, 19, had escaped forced marriage in Afghanistan, been living in a shelter. The program found her housing, got her therapy, helped her finish her Abitur. She graduated top of her class, full scholarship to Humboldt University, studying medicine. "I want to be like Ms. Hassan. I want to help people like me." Omar, 17, parents killed in Aleppo, severe PTSD. Dmitri met with Omar personally, shared his own story, the homelessness, the book. "You're not worthless," Dmitri said. Omar started therapy, enrolled back in school. 8 months later, he smiled for the first time. "I want to study engineering, be like you, Mr. Volkov." The program's impact rippled through Berlin. Local businesses partnered. A tech startup hired 5 participants. A hospital hired 3. A construction company hired 7. The neighborhood saw reduced crime, increased economic activity, new businesses opening. 10 schools created pipelines, connected at-risk students before they fell through cracks. 34 participants earned German language certificates, 12 enrolled in university, 23 in vocational programs. The media noticed. Der Spiegel ran a feature, "The Promise That Changed Berlin." The reporter asked Amara and Dmitri, "You two make quite a team. Is it all business?" They exchanged a look, smiled. "We're partners," Amara said, "in every sense that matters." BBC picked up the story. From homeless to billionaire, the love story behind Germany's refugee revolution. The full story aired. Dmitri's childhood, Amara teaching him, the promise, The reunion. Social media exploded. Hashtag Little Prince trended globally. Millions of views. People started reading Le Petit Prince to refugees, committing to teach one person to read. The challenge went viral. Celebrities participated. 4 million euros raised for refugee programs worldwide. Arte filmed a documentary, The Promise, a love story that saved thousands. It premiered across Europe, won awards, changed the conversation about refugees. The German parliament passed the Integration Acceleration Act, increased federal funding for refugee programs. Amara and Dmitri testified before the Bundestag. 22 Berlin companies created similar programs. The Volkov model became a blueprint. Oxford wrote a case study. Munich launched a program. Then Hamburg, Frankfurt, Vienna. By year's end, 47 European cities had Little Prince programs. Amara became a sought-after speaker, but she never forgot where she started. Every Thursday, she worked at the original community center. Dmitri joined her some Thursdays, helped run programs, talked to kids. One evening, at the one-year anniversary gala, 800 people filled the ballroom. Donors, partners, media, community leaders, program participants. Amara stood backstage, nervous. Dmitri found her. "You okay?" "Just thinking about how far we've come." Amara took his hand. "Dmitri, when you go on stage tonight, I want you to know I'm ready." "Ready for what?" Amara smiled. "You made me a promise 19 years ago. I think it's time." Dmitri's eyes widened. "I love you. I'm in love with you, and I want to spend my life with you." Dmitri pulled her close. "Are you saying—" "I'm saying, when you ask, the answer is yes." Dmitri laughed, cried, kissed her. "I've been carrying a ring for 2 months. Tonight is the right moment." They walked on stage together, hand in hand. Dmitri spoke about the program, the success, the future. Then he paused, looked at Amara. "But none of this would exist without one person. Amara Hassan saved my life 19 years ago." The crowd applauded. Dmitri got down on one knee. The room gasped. He pulled out a simple ring, sapphire, the color of the book cover. "Amara Hassan, 19 years ago, I promised I'd find you when I was somebody. Will you marry me?" Amara was crying, smiling. "Yes, yes, I'll marry you." The room erupted. Standing ovation, cheers, tears everywhere. They kissed. After 19 years, the promise was kept. 1 year later, the wedding was small, 150 guests, at the bookstore in Istanbul, Kitap Dünyası. The alley where Amara first taught Dmitri had been transformed. A garden, a plaque, where education began. Books decorated everything. Amara walked down the aisle. Her father escorted her, both crying. Dmitri stood at the altar, crying too. They exchanged vows. "Amara, when I was 12 and illiterate, you taught me. When I was lost, you saw me. You gave me a reason to live. I promise to show up for you every day, to love you completely, forever." Dmitri, you took a book and turned it into a movement. You took a promise and turned it into a legacy. I promise to be your partner, to remind you every day that you are always worthy, even before you were rich." They kissed as husband and wife. The reception was at the Amara Hassan Center in Berlin. Program participants performed. Yusuf gave a toast. "To the couple who taught us that family is who chooses to love you." After the celebration, Dmitri and Amara walked to the bookstore alley. They placed new books on a shelf. Free library for anyone who needed them. "For the next kid who needs hope," Dmitri said. A young boy approached, 10 years old, Afghan, shy. "Excuse me, can you teach me to read in German?" Amara and Dmitri looked at each other, hearts breaking and soaring. Amara knelt down. "Come with us. Let's get started." They brought the boy inside, gave him books, made sure he was safe. The boy read slowly, carefully. "Why are you helping me?" Amara touched the book in her hands. "Because someone once helped him." She pointed to Dmitri. Dmitri pulled out a copy of Le Petit Prince, gave it to the boy. "Keep this. Remember, someone believes in you. You're going to be okay. I promise." The boy held the book. "Thank you." As the boy left with his family, Amara leaned into Dmitri. "The cycle continues. Forever." They looked at the center, lights glowing, people inside, laughing, healing. The Little Prince initiative had served 1,247 people in 2 years, replicated in 47 cities. Every participant received a book. Dmitri and Amara walked inside, hand in hand. Behind them, hundreds of books lined the shelves, each representing a life touched, a promise kept, education continuing. Text appeared on screen. The Little Prince initiative has placed 1,247 refugees in stable housing and education programs. The model has been replicated in 47 cities across Europe. Dmitri and Amara Volkov continue to lead the program together. They are expecting their first child, a daughter they plan to name Nur. It means light in Arabic. Final image. Dmitri and Amara walking away from the center, hand in hand. Camera pans to the bookshelf. Hundreds of books. Each one a life changed. Each one a promise kept. Each one proof that teaching someone to read can change the world. If you're watching this and you're struggling right now, if you're lost, alone, invisible, please don't give up. Someone out there is looking for you. Your Amara is coming. Your Dmitri is coming. Hold on. And if you're watching this and you have something to give, even if it's small, even if you think it won't matter, give it. You never know whose life you'll change. A book changed Dmitri's life. Education gave him hope. A promise brought him home. What will you give? What promise will you keep? Amara taught Dmitri that kindness isn't a transaction. It's an investment in a future you'll never see. But that future is real. It's 1,247 people, 47 cities, countless lives touched. It started with one girl, one book, one choice to care. Your choice matters too. Share this story, spread kindness, read to someone, and remember, love keeps its promises. Thank you for watching. Amara's family had nothing, but for 9 months she gave her time to a dying boy behind a dumpster. He kept his promise. 19 years later, his illiteracy was erased. Amara was 11. Family barely had food. She looked at a starving boy and chose to share her knowledge. Not once, every night, 9 months. Her family worked extra hours so she'd have books to give, gave Dmitri medicine they needed themselves. Why would a poor family sacrifice that? Because they understood you don't need money to change a life, just need to care. Dmitri remembered, 19 years, touching that book, thinking, Amara believed I mattered when nobody else did. When he got rich, he asked, how do I help others the way she helped me? This isn't a fairy tale about getting rich. It's about treating people like they matter. Amara didn't know Dmitri would become a billionaire, just knew he was illiterate, and she had knowledge. That choice started a chain reaction. Dmitri built a program helping 1,247 people. Those people help others. On and on and on. How many people now feel invisible, worthless? One conversation, one lesson, one moment seeing them as human. That plants a seed. You might never see it grow, but it does grow. Share this with someone needing hope. Subscribe if you believe small acts matter. Comment when a stranger's kindness changed your life. On their wedding day, another illiterate child appeared at the center. Dmitri and Amara taught him. The cycle continues. Being rich doesn't make you powerful. Being kind does. What do you have today that could change someone's tomorrow? Start now.